What's your least favorite job you've ever had, and did you learn anything useful about yourself or otherwise from it? I'll go first just to set things off. I could think of two. Only non-dance related job I've ever had was working for Vector, selling Cutco knives. And granted, it's a pyramid scheme. I'm aware of that, but didn't do it. I still got those knives to this day. I hated the job because I kept going, who the fuck is going to buy $1,500 knives? This is stupid. And y'all keep telling me it's going to happen. It's like, oh yeah, you just keep talking to people and learn your script. And I'm like, I got to tell you something. I saw somebody cut butter with a plastic spoon the other day. And so I don't think anyone in my social sphere is going to buy a $1,500 set of knives. Now, what did I learn from this? I'm a great salesman, and because I did sell things, I never sold a big batch of knives, but I did get some sales off. And also, I love blades, and so the knife knowledge that I got from it of like half tang, full tang, stainless steel versus et cetera, that led into my love of the show, Forged in Fire, when they're talking about, oh yeah, we're using 3180 carbon steel. And it's like, oh yeah, this doesn't have enough carbon. And I'm like, yeah, I know that shit too, kind of.
Barely.
Barely. And the other one was
barely.
my first teaching job. I wasn't good at it. I sucked. I was very bad at teaching. And I cared a lot more about dramatics, how they try to get these kids to emote than I did about them learning any kind of technical dance. And so I was fired very quickly from this job because and it's probably the only job I've ever really been fired from, because in the midst of me trying to get them to emote, one of the things I said to one of the kids was, all right, so you're walking home. And you're walking home, let's walk, and you see the environment, you see the trees blowing in the wind, and a leaf may be blowing, and so you push that leaf out the way, and right, you're doing this dance motion, and then I was like, and then you turn the corner and your house is on fire. Show me what you feel.
Were they children? Were they kids?
They were 8 and 9 years old. They had no idea how to process any of this.
Why are you burning them babies' houses down? That is
it got worse. I'm pretty sure I said, you heard mommy and daddy yelling, and you heard mommy hit the floor, and yeah, it was bad. I'm not gonna act like I was. Yeah, I was fired for good reason.
He was trying to get you was gonna get some emotion out of it.
I was gonna get some emotion. They did cry. All of the children, they did cry. But
what if Grinch stole Christmas?
What you gonna do?
Quickly learned my lesson. I became a much better teacher. Just because I still cuss at kids and punch them in the chest from time to time and whatnot, your kids love me. And so
I didn't hear that.
Only the boys. I don't punch the girls, but boys need to be punching their chest from time to time.
I still didn't hear it, but we're gonna keep
a lot of great students have come from my tutelage, and so I feel proud of that shit, because I needed to do something stupid to learn. Oh, right, dance should be about dance, and you learn about that other thing later. Mm-hmm. And that's my piece.
That's what's up. I got a funny story about. Well, it reminded that the knife company reminded me of a job interview I had, and I didn't know much about what I was getting into, but they just told me it was called Kirby. So if y'all not familiar with that, that's like a vacuum company.
And like based on the video game?
No, it's a vacuum company that been around for a long time.
And that sounds familiar, actually.
They actually do like that kind of a pyramid scheme type salesman type thing. So my job interview, I headed to my job interview or whatever, and it was in a building, nobody was there. It was like one of those plazas with a whole bunch of offices in it or whatever. And my place was in the basement, and I go in the basement, and nobody. It was like a bunch of chairs, a bunch of posters of some like old white guys who were, I guess, great salesmen or whatever, and a bunch of empty chairs. It was like
Brett Brencherson.
Yeah, like a whole bunch of gray suits and double chins, and it was like a kitchen area, and I didn't know what was going on. I'm like, is this a job interview? I got my my stuff, my what you call it,
your resume.
So I'm looking around the whole place. Like, I peeked in a room. It was like a guy in there. He didn't see me. I guess that was my interviewer. So I just said, nah, this is not for me. Like, I didn't even sit down. I'm like, where is everybody? Like, I like in the email it said like it would be like an orientation. So I'm already thinking like, is this an interview or do I have the job? Like,
I've been there. I know that's a weird, creepy interview. Like, I'm like, I gotta go.
Yeah, like it is a pyramid scheme type thing.
That sounds. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No. You can finish.
I was gonna say, so all I did is look in the fridge, and they happened to have Guinness Stout in there. So when I saw that, I'm like, this is not the job. This is not the job for me. But I did steal that beer and take it with me on the way out
as a souvenir.
Yeah,
I'm taking this for my troubles.
No other beer tasted that good. Like, y'all wasting my time. I'm taking this. That was so rewarding. Like, it was. I was just laughing to myself, but like that was the most rewarding interview / orientation or whatever. But
it's funny. Oh, sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead.
No, I think that's funny.
That's one of my weird job experience. That don't answer the question, but go ahead.
It's funny. Your weird job experience actually reminded me of my worst job. I was gonna say in LA, like, when I graduated school, I worked so many jobs just to afford to live in New York and then to afford to live in LA. So it was just grinding. And I was gonna say I had to do this pet sitting job thinking I love pets and like it'll be great. And it was horrible. Like, I worked for 2 weeks and they fired me because they were like, girl, like the people saying that you barely like spending time with their cat. And it was all these dirty Koreatown apartments where like the cat had one eye and there was like roaches everywhere. And there was like a rabbit over there in the corner. It was like disgusting. So I was going to say that was my worst job, but you reminded me when I applied to work for Lyft, but in New York. So they started this new thing where they're like, we're going to have a Lyft courier service. So you don't have to have a car to like pick stuff up and just like drop it off to people. It's like they were first starting. I went and it was like orientation. And I'm like, do I have a job? Is it an interview? Like, what is this? And they were basically like, thank you for being here. Like, you're the first ones, like hyping us up. And I was like, I don't trust these people. Like, what the fuck is this? So I worked one day and they sent me all around New York. I mean, like Central Park North to like Soho. And I'm supposed to get down there in 20 minutes walking or biking through New York City. And it started raining and it was so terrible that I quit that day. I said, get this shit off my phone, delete this app, don't call me again, don't text me no more. I don't give a damn. I'm going home and fuck y'all. So I think I picked up a delivery for someone and they were like, okay, they're expecting it in 10 minutes. And it was like 7 miles away in New York, which is like impossible. So I think I just took it home. Yeah, it was like PTSD. I just went home. I was like, you know what? I can't. Fuck y'all. I'm on. I gotta go. Right. That was my worst job I've ever had, for sure.
So, like, what's so funny is Marcus's story actually reminds me of an interview that I had, and it was similar. It's almost like, so, okay, so like you get there and there's a bunch of people in there, and they give you a presentation, but what it feels like is they're trying to sell it to you so you want to work for them. Like, like, wait a minute. Like, are y'all trying to hire me, or are you trying to sell the job?
They need you to drink the Kool-Aid in order to work, in order for it to work.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm like, well, that's interesting, but okay, I'll, then the next day they was like, okay, can you come back for an interview, actually one-on-one interview? I was like, okay, sure. So I show up, and then the first like red flag was the guy that I was talking to. His suit was entirely too big. I'm like, oh, hold on, man. So
a baggy suit is a dead giveaway.
yeah,
Yeah, that's always a funny look.
what makes it even funnier is that he was short,
Steve
so it
Harvey.
makes it even funnier. So he's like 5'7" and a little stocky, and his suit's too big. Like, this isn't professional. Because like, if you can't wear a suit
You're
correctly, this is supposed to, and the company was supposed to be, you're supposed to be selling insurance. But another red flag was on, like, how you can go like on Indeed or Monster or Glassdoor or whatever. On there, it said the company was, I don't know, I'm gonna make up something. It was like insurance company, whatever. But then when you get there, the presentation, all of the stuff is a completely different company. It's not even the same thing as the ad. I'm like, so it was just off. And and then the other thing that was like the final straw was like, it was like, in order for you to work for them, you have to sign up for their insurance. I was like,
Nope.
and
That's a scam.
Yeah, and then you have to pay, well, it's like maybe $175. They want you to pay $175 at the job interview. And I was like, no, I'm gonna just stick with the job I got.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those out there.
That's kind of how Cutco was too.
For real?
Yeah. Because you have to buy the starter pack of knives.
Okay.
To then sell.
Cutco sounds like it just sounds so much like a cartoony company name.
Yes,
like Cutco knives.
Which is even funnier because Cutco was the brand of knives, but they made sure you knew Vector Distribution or whatever is the actual business. And so like it was just a whole layer of stuff. I actually got approached with a pyramid scheme not too long ago again, where they were like, you're pretty much selling off-brand wholesale products. Like they have their own products of like their version of Gatorade and their version of stuff, and you're trying to sell that to
Alligator Juice.
I'll tell you, it was, and the thing was, a friend of mine told me to hook up, and so then I called the guy, and the guy that's trying to get me in. Every time I talk to him, he's in his car trying to give me the spiel, and it's a Zoom meeting just like this, and I keep going like, something about this don't feel right, and then I do the webinar, and I'm like, this looks real pyramid scheming, and then every time I talk to the dude, I kept getting irritated because he kept saying my name. And I was like, there's no way you think I trust you. You said my name.
Feel good.
Mm-hmm. A part of the team. They trying to make you feel like you one of them.
Hey, Joshua. So, if you have any questions, Joshua, just let us know that, and Joshua, we'll get back to you as soon as we can. And I'm here to help you, Joshua. Anytime. If you say my name one more time, my dude, I swear I'm going to find you and it's going to be...
Somebody told him, look, rule number 1 of sales, get to know me.
I was just about to say that. I was like, that's a sales
and that's a lie.
Say their name so they feel like they can trust you, but it's actually really creepy, and you can feel the inauthenticity behind it.
Now, if they say it once, like at the beginning and at the end of the conversation, I'm fine. But just throughout is unnecessary.
Like, because I don't know your name, and so if I may say it a couple times to remind myself. But I straight up told him, I was like, dude, you got to stop saying my name. That's weird as shit.
You don't know.
And he was like, oh, yeah, sure, man. It's no problem. And I was like, you have to tell me like that you recognize that that's weird.
Right.
Oh, yeah.